The Simpsons is the longest-running primetime scripted television series of all time. The characters in the show have all become icons and are instantly recognizable all over the world. One of the most fun aspects of the show happens before the story even gets started. We're of course referring to the couch gag. During every episode, the Simpsons rush to their couch and a joke unfolds. Some of them are bizarre, some offer pop culture references, and some are out of this world. Yet, there are a select few that speak to us on a much more relatable level. Let's count them down. Go! Okay, we know what you're thinking after that intro. How can the undead be relatable at all? In this particular couch gag, which aired during Treehouse of Horror 4, showcases the Simpsons as the living dead, bursting from the ground and shambling towards their couch. But while zombies may not be a thing, we're certain we've all felt how the Simpsons look during this particular gag. Ever wake up in the morning feeling like you have no energy for anything? How about coming home after a crazy busy day that leaves you drained? Yeah, that's what we thought. We thought this would be a good place to start, as many of us work long days or multiple jobs just to get by. Feeling drained and exhausted has become something of a norm, which is why we can totally relate to the feeling of being a zombie. Thankfully, we do not have an appetite for brains or flesh, so we can carry on with a bit of coffee instead. This opening also gets bonus points for having hysterical jokes on the tombstones before the actual gag. We don't think it's a big secret that modern audiences have short attention spans. How often do you go to the cinema and see someone whip out their phones? Maybe you're guilty of such a crime. Suffice to say, we're addicted to our phones. But at the cinema is one thing. Doing it at home is another. Sure, you don't have to worry about infuriating the entire theater, so checking your phone in the middle of Tiger King is totally acceptable. We're all guilty of this on some level, and the Simpsons know it. In this couch gag, Homer props himself on the couch and whips out his phone to play a game. The app in question is called Couch Gag and sees him dragging and dropping his family onto the couch. As he plays the game, Mr. Burns ends up calling him. Homer naturally freaks out and eats his phone. Probably for the best though, as the rest of the Simpsons have joined him on the couch. Maybe Homer needs to unplug for a bit? Jump into season 19, we get a fun, creative couch gag that also breaks the fourth wall just a bit. The gag in question sees the Simpsons family being built by Lego bricks in stop-motion animation. And while none of us have had the chance to be turned into Lego figures, we're quite certain many of us have had the chance to play with Lego or similar blocks as kids, or even as adults. Heck, there are Lego sets out there that are fully licensed from The Simpsons. But before there was anything official, we had our imaginations. Creating characters, places, and new wonders from an assortment of Lego bricks was half the fun, and this opening gag captures the fun of building something from scratch. They may look a little blocky, but they were built from the ground up. This particular opening is a crossover event with Robot Chicken. The Simpsons get their own moments in the stop-motion animation style as Homer finds himself as one of the dolls from the show created by Seth Green and Matthew Senreich, complete with that terrible artificial smell. But while we have no idea what it's like to be an actual doll, the actual couch gag is something we can relate to. The Robot Chicken himself ends up strapping the family to the couch and forces them to watch an episode of The Simpsons. For those who grew up with siblings or making testy roommates, how often have you fought over the remote or what was going to be the show of the night? How often do you have to have that conversation with yourself as you flip through Netflix each night, hopping from one show to the next mid-episode? We bet it's quite a few of you. This particular couch gag was the opener for the season 10 Christmas episode Miracle on Evergreen Terrace. The gag in question sees the Simpsons family rushing to the couch only for the camera to zoom to an outside perspective. The family are part of a snow globe and two hands start shaking the globe. The camera zooms back in and it appears that it's snowing inside the living room. While simple and short, a lot of people can seriously relate to the joys and woes of feeling like they're in a snow globe. There are people around around the world who are fortunate enough to get snow for Christmas time, and their reaction to the first snowfall is akin to Homer's in this couch gag. Having snow at Christmas does make the day that much more festive, despite the cold. But there comes a time when the snow has been around for months and you end up feeling like you're trapped inside a snow globe yourself, waiting eagerly for summer to return. Thankfully, the sensation of being shaked does not accompany the snow in real life. Either by first-hand experience or by watching it happen to someone else, this is certainly a couch gag that will resonate with those who had a bully in elementary school. One of the classic bully moves was to take someone's chair away at the last second, forcing the would-be sitter to come crashing to the floor, usually to a chorus of laughs. In this couch gag for the episode Bart Carney, the Simpsons make their usual way to the sofa to sit down. Of course, moments before they actually sit down, Nelson reveals himself to be hiding behind the sofa and yanks it towards him at the last minute, causing the family to crash to the floor. Nelson, of course, gives out a loud ha ha. Oh god, I did that horribly! The Simpsons, like all those who have fallen for the prank in real life, are not impressed. We've all known that one person who was considered to be either the class clown or worse, the bully. And the Simpsons both celebrates and shuns that idea at the same time. We've likely been there before, whether as a participant or as the host, and The Simpsons knew how to illustrate that feeling perfectly, even if it was a hysterical exaggeration. In this couch gag, which was featured in the Season 4 episode Marge vs. the Monorail, The Simpsons make their way once more to their beloved couch, only they're quickly joined by dozens of other citizens of Springfield who end up blocking the family's view of the TV. Now, we're certain you haven't had that many people stuffed into your living room just to watch TV. If you have, we applaud you. But the concept of having people in your way as you're trying to watch something shouldn't be lost on you. Maybe there really are too many people in your tiny apartment for the viewing party you planned. The point is, having people in your way as you're trying to relax and watch something is an experience likely shared by many. This couch gag nails a certain satisfaction people have with popping bubble wrap. To this day, the idea of popping bubble wrap still seems random to many, but at the same time, it is almost universally agreed to be immensely gratifying. The Simpsons writers know how much people love to pop bubble wrap and so included it on one of their couch gags. In it, the family venture into their living room but find the entire room covered with wrap, which is officially called bubble wrap in case you didn't know. Instead of going to the couch, the family takes immense joy in jumping all over the bubbles, popping them in the process. There have been many psychological studies investigating why this is such a joy for people. One such study revealed that people who popped bubble wrap felt more calm and at ease afterwards. Homer's urge to pop just one more bubble shows that he wasn't satisfied yet, but the look of contentment on their faces proves they had a fun time. If you found your floor covered in bubble wrap, how crazy would you go in popping all the bubbles? Let us know in the comments. This couch gag is great in that it offers a relatable experience while also mixing in a pop culture reference at the same time. The episode in question is, wait for it, Simpsoncalifragilisticexpialidocious from Season 8. I love saying that. The opening gag opens with the couch actually being abandoned for a moment before cutting to a different shot. Homer is locked outside with the rest of the family, attempting to open the door by bashing his fists against it. It would appear that Homer has lost his set of keys. The way Homer is banging on the door is a nod to Fred Flintstone attempting to enter his own home from the Flintstones' closing credits. Of course, this may soon become less of a problem as homes become more and more smart. Technology to allow us to enter our homes with passwords, pins, voice recognition, or facial scans may one day replace traditional keys, and this gag and possible solution doesn't only apply to homes, but cars as well. Until then, Homer is going to have to continue to bang on his door until it falls down. Times are tough in the first half of 2020. The world seems like a volatile place with disasters happening around the world, followed by everyone being on lockdown for weeks on end. We're all trying to find ways to pass the time, especially those who have been laid off. And The Simpsons found a creative way to illustrate the feeling of lockdown in this brand new couch gag from season 31. While many people are reading, watching Netflix and such, The Simpsons found a way to illustrate isolation in a pretty neat way. Bear with me, this is gonna sound strange at first. The segment starts with a highly stylized Homer jumping out of a plane and flying through donut rings. Mark can be seen snowboarding, Marge is surfing, Lisa is snorkeling, and Maggie is popping wheelies on her tricycle. So how are they doing this all in isolation? They're all experiencing something unique in VR. The whole family is on the couch and trying something new. It's a creative and fun way to show what quarantine is like in 2020. Of course, the virtual game ended up being a little too real for Homer. Which one resonates with you the most? For us, it has to be the locked out entry or the one where Nelson yanks the sofa. What's your favorite couch gag of all time? And what's your thoughts on the show now it's in its 31st season? Let us know in the comments below. And be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this in your playlist every day.